gang. So for the final presentation for Aviation 327, I was given authorization to do a little something different. I am a commercial pilot, have been since May of 1985 in helicopter, single engine land in July to finish my commercial check ride. So I had a little project going here. It's been working the last couple of years, taking my land speed project, a 1969 Dodge Daytona. It is a clone. It's not the actual car, but a clone of the 69 Daytona to Speed Week. Again, I've been a commercial rated pilot for a long time in helicopters, and I just got this finished up in July for airplanes. And my goal here of taking my car out to Bonneville Speed Week was to go break a classic production record with the A-class engine of 237.8 miles per hour and some change. That record is a pretty solid record. It's been standing since August of 2005. My sources are the SCTA 2021 rulebook and Google Maps 2021. So as far as the trip goes, from the actual trip, I have towed my trailer with a camper in the back of my truck the 2,472 miles out to the Bonneville Salt Flats, which is in Wendover, Utah. And of course, we're on the return road now. We've stopped in Illinois to visit with my parents for a couple of days, and stopped in North Carolina at our cabin to enjoy that for a little bit. So considerations for this is a long-term project. I bought the first car for this, a 1969 Dodge Charger that I was planning to use, but decided this one was in worse condition. So ultimately, if it got crunched, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So I traded for this car in 2009. Made a bunch of progress in the spring of 2019 when a friend from Washington State invited me to come there with my car and work in his garage and live in his motorhome for as long as I wanted. So I stayed there for about 2 months and made major progress, as you'll see in the pictures a little bit later. My goal was to be out for Speed Week at Bonneville Salt Flats last year in August, but it came down to I was going to leave on Sunday, and then I was going to leave on Monday, and then I was struggling and burning the midnight oil. I was going to leave on Tuesday, and then it went to Wednesday, and finally on Thursday, when Speed Week starts on Saturday midday, I decided that was too little too late, so I pushed it off until this year. But I was determined to make it this year, so I haven't really been keeping up with my schoolwork since the first week of August. So, and then ultimately I broke a piston in the car and wasn't able to compete for the record this year. These are some pictures to show what the car started as. Most folks would say, my gosh, why would you start with such a piece of junk, you know? But you notice the concrete floors in the 70 Charger up there in the left upper corner. And then the second picture to the right of that is where I cut the entire floor out of the car. Ultimately, more of the car went away. The rear quarter panels went away. The taillight housing went away. But it replaced pretty much everything. You can see the third picture over showing the frame rails starting to go back in. The fourth picture on the top row from left to right, the floor going back in. And then as you drop down to the next row, there's more floor going in. And then you can see I cut more of the car away. And you can see that I cut all that away. You can see the black in the one picture, the rear quartering shot there. All that black stuff is all new. And then took it into the blast booth to blast the rest of the sheet metal. And ultimately I stuck it back together, and there's my sports car number 8523 that took out to Bonneville here last week and made a good showing. As far as our external pressures, the only real pressure was the aerodynamic force on the car at over 200 miles per hour. On a 217 mile per hour run, it caved in the windshield about 1.5 inches, and we didn't realize that until we got back over to the pits. One of the guys looked at it and said, hey, the windshield's caved in. So it had rolled this rubber gasket off of the pinch weld into the car. So we were able to, work that back into place, and we put a block of wood between the roll bar and the rubber gasket to hold it in place. And then also it bent the right front fender a little bit at over 200 miles per hour. But anyway, it worked well. The car stayed on the ground, and I realized that my almost 231 mile per hour run is faster than any V&E of any Army helicopter I ever flew, and so far has been higher than the V&E of any airplane that I've ever been the pilot in command of. So 231 miles per hour is no joke. I ended up burning a piston on that run. I failed to do my homework and stop at the 5-mile mark where the timer stopped, and I stayed in the throttle all the way out to the 6-mile mark, and it burned a piston. But I believe things happen for a reason, and I don't know what could have happened or would have happened, but at any rate, the burning a piston was the end of the event this year for us. We went 29 miles per hour, a little over that for the 5th mile, and then exited that at 230.973, I think was the number of miles per hour. So the car's capable. I'm capable. I just need to fix a few things, including the engine, before I go next year. And hopefully next year I'll go out and I'll break the land speed record for A classic production. Thank you for your time. I congratulate you all on the good work that you've done this term, and with your passing your check rides. Those of you that have, and those that still have yet to do that, I'm sure you're going to pass your check ride and make a good career of this flying gig. And just remember to be professional, do things right every time, and you'll have a lot less emergencies, and fly safe. We'll see you next time. Thanks.